Reference librarian and junior advisor here. And Rahima and I and Russell have Russell Watkins have been the ones who are working on this event. First off, welcome to Brockton Public Library, and I'd like to thank all the library staff for promoting this, and the Brockton community, and the Library Foundation for providing funding for promotional material. If you've seen the posters and this lovely banner behind me, they're the ones who paid for it. It was done by Allegra Printing, which is here in Brockton. So I'm going to start by reading a few poems, and then we'll just get started. So I'll start with one that you're probably all familiar with. The Negro Speaks of Rivers. So here we go. I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans. And I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient dusty rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. As some of you may know, I just lost my place. Langston Hughes was an admirer of Walt Whitman. So we wrote a tribute to Walt Whitman called Old Walt. Old Walt Whitman, when finding and seeking, finding less than sought, seeking more than found. Every detail-minded of the seeking or the finding, pleasure equally in seeking as in finding, each detail-minded, Old Walt when seeking and finding. And lastly, I will do something from his Dream Variations. Heart. This is another one. Heart. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over, like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? And as some of you may know, Langston Hughes was an international poet and admired many other poets, and so we're also going to be reading poets he admired more later on. But he was an admirer of William Blake, the English poet, and in some ways he reflects his style. So I thought I'd include one of Blake's poems, which Langston Hughes admired, called The Poison Tree, or A Poison Tree, from Songs of Experience. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it with ears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles and with soft, simple wiles. And it grew both day and night till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine and knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole a night that veils the fold. In the morning glad I see my foe stretched out beneath the tree. So that is it for me, and I will move on to the next person, who is Waleed, right? That's our, yes.
No,
and-
no.
Is that-
Darnell Williams. We changed it.
Oh, okay. So I will. You can. Right back. The technology right there. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
All right, first of all, I'm honored to be here. I work right down the street for the Brockton Public Schools, and I work in the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Office. And I provide professional development to teachers and administrators, and I work with students, really supporting them around building their voice, amplifying their voice, and promoting their sense of agency. I'm so honored to be here. Langston Hughes has always been one of my admirers. So I start. The poem that I'm reading is called Let America Be Great Again. I'm sorry, Let America Be America Again, by Langston Hughes. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer from the plain, seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was America to me. Let America be the dream the dreamers dreamed. Let it be that strong land of love where never kings connive nor tyrants scheme. That any man be crushed by one above. It never was America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark? And who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor, white, food, and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery's scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I see and finding only the same old stupid plane. Old dog, eat dog, a mighty crush the weak. I am the young man, full of strength and hope, tangled in that ancient endless chain of profit, power, gain, and grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of satisfying need, of work the men, of take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, bondsman to the soil. I am the worker's soul to the machine. I am the Negro, servant to you all. I am the people, humble, hungry, mean, hungry yet today despite the dream, beaten yet today, oh pioneers. I am the man who never got ahead, the poorest worker bartered through the years. Yet I am the one who dreamt our basic dream in the old world, while still a serf of kings, who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet is mighty Darwin sings in every brick and stone, in every furrowed tomb. That's made America the land it has become. Oh, I'm the man who sailed those early seas in search of what I meant to be my home. For I'm the one who left dark Ireland shores and Poland's plain and England's grassy leaf, and tore from Black Africa's strand I came to build a homeland of the free, the free. Who said the free? Not me. Surely not me. The millions on relief today, the millions shot down when we strike, the millions who have nothing for our pay, for all the dreams we've dreamt, and all the songs we've sung, and all the hopes we've held, and all the flags we've hung. The millions who have nothing for our pay, except the dream that's almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has been yet, and yet must be, the land where every man is free, the land that's mine, the poor man's, Indians, Negroes, Me. Who made America? Whose sweat and blood? Whose faith and pain? Whose hand at the foundry? Whose plow in the rain? Must bring back our mighty dream again. Sure, call me any ugly name you choose. The steel of freedom does not sting. For those who live like leeches on the people's lives, we must take back our land again, America. Oh yes, I say it plain. America never was America to me, and yet I swear this oath, America will be. Out of the wrath and ruin of our gangster death, the rape and rot of graft and step and lies, we the people must redeem. The land, the mines, the plants, the rivers, the mountains, and the endless plain, all the stretch of these great green states, and make America again. From Langston Hughes.
Thank you for coming. My name is Waleed Muhammad. We're doing a couple of pieces. We begin with a blues song that I wrote in my CD, it was on my CD album called Trouble, Get Away from My Door. I've been searching everywhere for some peace of mind, and it seems so hard for me to find. Yes, I've been searching everywhere for some peace of mind, and it seems so hard for me to find. When I heard a knock at my door, there was something there I wasn't looking for. Yes, when I heard a knock at my door, trouble there wasn't looking for. Yeah, no more. So I want to start off with the piece because a lot of folks, well, my time, for my time, do something about the blues. So my next piece, the piece that I'll be doing, it's called The Weary Blues by Langston Hughes. Sorry about that today. So yes, this one is called Very good. And, by the way, too, I want to mention that my artistic director in Providence, the late George Houston Bass, was the executive of Langston Hughes. He moved university, he worked for him for some years. So we just never know in life. So anyway, this is where it is. Only drowsy, syncopated tune, walking back and forth to a mellow tune. I heard a Negro play down on Linus Avenue the other night by the pale, dull pallor of an old gas light. He did a lazy spade. He did a lazy spade. To the tune of those weary blues, with his ebony hands in each ivory key. He made that poor piano moan with melody, old blues, swaying to and fro on his rickety stool. He played that sad, raggy tune, musical fool. Sweet blues coming from the black man's soul. Old blues in a deep, strong voice with a melancholy tone. I heard that Negro sing, that old piano moan. Ain't got nobody in all this world. Ain't got nobody but myself. I was going to pick my frown and put my troubles on the shelf. No, no, no. When his foot on the floor, he played a few chords, then sang some more. I got the weird blues, can't be satisfied. Got the weird blues, can't be satisfied. I ain't happy no more. And I wish that I had died. And far into the night, he cleaned that tune. The stars went out, and so to the moon. The singers stopped playing, went to bed. The weary blues echoed through his head. He slept like a rock for a man that's dead. Very blues. Langston Hughes. Now I want to hear from Ali, the wife of former wife of Muhammad, the late great Muhammad Ali. A little Ali. Yeah. Thank you.
Greetings to you. I'm gonna give a little introduction to say greetings. I am very honored. That's my name. I'm honored today to be here for the Langston Hughes readathon. These are sections from Langston Hughes and Associates. When I came up in the Nation of Islam at Muhammad University of Islam, I was proud to know that our history books in 1958 was by Langston Hughes. And we studied out of the books of the pictorial history of the Negroes in America in 1958, in which our school had these books, giving us Black history when Black history was not in public schools at all. So I'm honored to be before you to read a poem of Langston Hughes. It's just a great honor. And this was 3 years before I met Cassius Clay. And I'm honored to say this. This is amazing to know that I came up under Langston Hughes dictations in our school. I chose the poem called Dreamer by Langston Hughes. I take my dreams and I make them in a bronze vase. And a wide round fountain with a beautiful statue in the center. And a song with a broken heart as I ask you, do you understand my dreams? Sometimes they say they do, and sometimes they say they don't. Either way, it doesn't ever matter. I will continue to. Who's next? Shahida. Shahida? Good morning, all. It's my pleasure to read the poem today. It was from an associate of Langston Hughes. She was a granddaughter of a runaway slave, and her name was Gwendolyn Brooks. Say to the young, say to them, say to the dam keepers, the sun slackers, the self-spoilers, the harmony hushers, even if you are not ready for today, it cannot always be night. You will be right, for that is the hard home run. Live not for the battles won. Live not for the end of the song. Live in the alone. As I grew older, it was a long time ago. I have almost forgotten my dream, but it was there then, in front of me, bright like the sun, my dream. And then the wall rose slowly, slowly. Between me and my dream, rose slowly, slowly, dimming, hiding the light of my dream. Rose until it touched the sky. The wall, shadow, I am blind. I lie down in the shadow. No longer the light of my dream before me, above me, only the thick wall, only the shadow of my knees, my dark hands. Break through the wall, find my dream. Help me shatter this darkness, to smash this night, to break the shadow into 1,000 lights of sun, into 1,000 whirling dreams of sun. As I grow older, is poem to be by Langston Hughes. Thank you. And also, I think this is one of them. Yeah. Thank you. Good morning to everyone that has come and those that are on the Zoom line. I welcome you.
We're supposed to have a slideshow, but I don't know where the projector went, so it hasn't actually made it up here. So,
Okay, we just about it.
okay.
Yes, okay. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. I'd like to thank my good friend, Dr. Camila Camacho Ali. She's a wonderful friend. We've known each other for many, many years, many to count. I thank her. Thank you. And I thank Wally, Muhammad, who did the song for us on the guitar and the poetry reading. I thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, Frank? Steve? Pete? Pete? Bad with me, forgive me. Thank you so much. Up in Rhode Island, so I thank him, and I also thank Wally here. And I thank the staff at the Brockton Public Library. They have an awesome group to work for, and I just really, enjoy it. The staff that is at here at the circulation desk. Well, I think, I'm not going to start naming names, then I'll forget, but I think that the director of the library, Paul, who's just here and helped us hook up the microphone. So I thank him, and I thank all the other people that are working, Warren, Russell, Marlene, Jonathan, everybody. I'm sorry to just, I might forget someone, but so let me go on with the story. You know, I found that Langston Hughes not only was a poet, but he was, I'm gonna take my mask off to read, but he was also a short story writer. And I found this story by him, and I could just envision. I had a slideshow, but we can't show it. I would do like in grade school, show you pictures, but later, if you want to look at the book, it's up there, it's up there on the shelf. And it's called Thank You, Ma'am. Langston did a lot of things around mothers and his mother, or how women raise children, or how families should be. He did a lot of mother to son type things. So this one was a story called Thank You, Ma'am. And you'll see why at the end of the story. She was a large woman with a large purse that had everything in it but a hammer and nails. It had a long strap, and she carried it slung across her shoulder. It was about 11 o'clock at night, dark, and she was walking alone when a boy ran out behind her and tried to snatch her purse. The strap broke with a sudden single tug. The boy gave it from behind, but the boy's weight and the weight of the purse combined caused him to lose his balance. Instead of taking off full blast as he had hoped, the boy fell on his back on the sidewalk and his legs flew up. The large woman simply turned around and kicked him right square in his blue jean sitter. Then she reached out, picked the boy up by his shirt front, and shook him until his teeth rattled. After that, the woman said, "My pocketbook, boy, give it to me." She still held him tightly, but she bent down enough to permit him to scoop and pick up her purse. Then she said, "Now ain't you ashamed of yourself?" Firmly gripped by his shirt front, the boy said, "Yes, honey." The woman said, "What did you want to do it for?" The boy said, "I didn't aid you." He said, "You a lie." By that time, 2 or 3 people passed, stopped, turned to look, and some stood watching. "If I turn you loose, will you run?" asked the woman. "Yes, said the boy. "Then I won't turn you loose." She did not release him. "Lady, I'm sorry," whispered the boy. "Your face is dirty. I got a great mind to wash your face for you. Ain't you nobody home to tell you to wash your face?" "No," said the boy. "Then it will get washed this evening," said a large woman starting up the street, riding with a frightened boy behind her. He looked as if he were 14 or 15, frail and well-like, in teeth and blue jeans. The woman said, "You ought to be my son. I would teach you right from wrong. The least I can do right now is to wash your face. Are you hungry?" "No," said the boy, the being dragged boy. "I just want you to turn me loose." "Was I bothering you when I turned that corner?" asked the woman.
No, but you put yourself in contact with me, said the woman. If you think that that contact is not going to last a while, you got another thought coming. When I get through with you, you are going to remember Miss Bates Washington Jones. Sweat popped out of the boy's face and he began to struggle. Mrs. Jones stopped, jerked him around in front of her, put a half Nelson around his neck, and continued to drag him up the street. When she got to her door, she dragged the boy inside, down a hall, and into a large kitchenette furnished room at the rear of the house. She switched on the light and left the door open. The boy could hear other roomers laughing and talking at the house. Some of their doors were open too, so he knew he and the woman were not alone. The woman still had him by the neck in the middle of her feet. She said, "What is your name?" "Roger." "Then, Roger, you go to that sink and wash your face," said the woman. Whereupon she turned him loose. Last, Roger looked at the door, looked at the woman, looked at the door, and went to the sink. "Let the water run until it gets warm," she said. "Here's a clean towel." "You gonna take me to jail?" asked the boy, bending over the sink. "Not with that face, I would not take you nowhere. Here I am trying to get home to cook me a bite to eat, and you snatch my property. Maybe you ain't been to your supper lately, have you?" "There's nobody home at my house," said the boy. "Then we'll eat," said the woman. "I believe you're hungry or been hungry to try to snatch my property." I want a pair of new suede shoes," said the boy. "Well, you didn't have to snatch my property to get some suede shoes," said Mrs. Bates Washington Jones. "You could have asked me." "Ma'am?" The water dripping from his face, the boy looked at. There was a long pause, a very long pause. After he had dried his face and not knowing what else to do, tried it again, the boy turned around wondering what next. The door was open. He could make a dash for it down the hall. He could run, run, run. The woman was sitting on the table. After a while, she said, "I were young once, and I wanted things I could not get." There was another long pause. The boy's mouth opened. Then he frowned, not knowing. He frowned. The woman said, "You thought I was going to say but. Didn't you? You thought I was going to say, but I didn't snatch people's property." "Well, I wasn't going to say that." Pause. Silence. "I have done things too, which I would not tell you, son, neither tell God if you didn't already know. Everybody's got something in common. So you sit down while I fix us something to eat. You might run that home through your hair so you can go to something." In another corner of the room, behind the screen, was a gas plate and an icebox. Mrs. Jones got up and went behind the screen. The woman did not watch the boy to see if he was going to run now, nor did she want her purse, which she left behind her on the day. But the boy took care to sit on the far side of the room, away from the purse, where he thought he could easily see out of the corner of the eye if he wanted to. He did not trust the woman not to trust him, and he did not want to be mistrusted now. "But do you need something to go to the store?" asked the boy, "maybe to get some milk or something?" "Don't believe I do," said the woman, "unless you just want sweet milk itself. I was going to make cocoa out of this can if I had." "That will be fine," said the boy. She heated some lima beans and meat she had in the icebox, made the cocoa, and set the table. The woman did not ask the boy anything about where he lived, or his clothes, or anything else that would embarrass him. Including that they ate, she told him about her job in a hotel beauty shop that stayed open late. what the work was like and how all kinds of women came in and out, blonde, redheads, Spanish. Then she cut it in half, a 10-cent cake. Eat some more, son, she said. When they were finished eating, he got up and said, now here, take these $10 and buy some. And next time, do not make the mistake of latching onto my pocket, nor nobody else's, because you got my devil's ways will burn your feet. I got to get my rest now, but from here on in, son, I hope you will behave yourself. She led him down the hall to the front door and opened it. Good night. Behave yourself. He said, looking out into the street as he went down the steps. The boy wanted to say something other than thank you, Mary, to Mrs. Llewellyn Bates Washington Jones. But although his lips moved, he couldn't even say that. As he turned at the foot of the barren seat and looked up at the large woman in the door. Then he shut the door. And he never saw her again. Thank you. I'm now going to one second.
Before we continue, we have to, we probably said a lot of other things, maybe we're over our part, at least done.
Now the next one, are you ready?
So, yeah. So, figured out how to use it, and so its focus is on the person that.
Okay, so we're still doing our readathon, and I would like to have Mr. Russell Larkin come forward. He was the motivating factor behind us doing the Langston readathon. He worked very hard at doing this. He took flyers and walked all over the city of Brockton, passing out these flyers to introduce the readathon to the community, and also did it for Dr. Khalila Ali. So I want you to know he worked so hard. And so here is Russell, and he's going to read for you.
Good afternoon. I feel and that while they told me that he spoke, I hope he played his instrument well. But I'm going to read not an essay by Langston Hughes. I want to read, because Langston helped everybody. And one of the people that he helped was a young woman by the name of Alice Walker. I would like to read the poem of this essay. It's only 2 pages by Alice Walker. It's called Longing to Die of Old Age. Mrs. Mary Poole, my 4th great grandmother, lived the entire 19th century, around 1800 to 1921, and enjoyed exceptional health. The key to good health, she taught this woman who was an enslaved person, who was forced to carry 2 young children on foot from Virginia to Georgia, was never to cover up the pulse at the throat. But with the benefit of hindsight, one must believe that for her, as for generations of people after her, in our small forming community, diet played as large a role in her longevity and her health as loose clothing and fresh air. For what did the old ones eat? Well, first of all, almost nothing that came from school. As late as my own childhood in the 50s, at Christmas, we had only raisins and perhaps bananas, oranges, and peppermint sticks broken into many pieces, a sliver for each child, and during that year, perhaps a half dozen apples, nuts, and a bunch of grapes. all extravagantly expensive and considered rare. You ate all of the apples, sometimes even seeds. Everyone had a vegetable garden, a garden as large as there was energy to work it. In these gardens, people raised an abundance of food, corn, tomatoes, okra, peas, beans, squash, peppers, which they ate in summer and canned for winter. There was no chemical fertilizer. No one could have afforded it, had it existed, and there was no need for it. From the cows and pigs and goats and horses and mules and fowl that people also raised, there was always ample organic manure. Until I was grown, I never heard of anyone having cancer. In fact, at first, cancer seemed to be coming from far off. For a long time, if the subject of cancer came up, you could be assured that cancer itself wasn't coming any nearer than to some congested place in the north, then to Atlanta, 70 odd miles away, and then to Malcolm, 40 miles away, then to Monticello, 20 miles away. The first inhabitants of our community to die of a knowledge cancer, they were only celebrities because of this quote unquote foreign disease. But now, 20 odd years later, cancer has ceased to be viewed as a visitor and experienced instead as a resident. Even the children die of cancer now, which at least in the beginning seemed the disease to be over. Most of the people I knew as farmers left the farm. They did not own the land and were not able to make a living working for the white people who did, to rent small apartments in the towns and cities. They ceased to have farms, and when they did manage to grow a few things, they used fertilizer from boxes and bottles, sometimes with improbable colors and consistency, which they rightly expected, but had no choice but to use them. Gone were their chickens, their cows and pigs, gone their organic manure. To their credit, they questioned all that happened to them. Why must we leave the land? Why must we live in boxes with hardly enough space to breathe? Of course, indoor plumbing seduced many of us. Why must we buy all of our food from the store? Why is the price of food so high? And by the way, some taste it. The collard greens bought in the supermarket, they said, tasted like water. The United States should have closed down and examined its every institution and law. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I think we just lost.
What I can do it about.
Okay, and,
The United States should have closed down and examined every intensive institution and law on the very first day a Black woman observed that the collard greens tasted like water. Or when the first person of any color observed that store-bought tomatoes tasted more like unripened avocado than tomatoes. The flavor of food is one of the clearest messages community ever sent to human beings. And we have by now eaten pardon warning by the time. When I was a child growing up in Middle Georgia in the 40s, 50s, people still died of old age. Old age is actually a common cause of death. My parents inevitably visited dying persons over the long or short period of their decline. Sometimes I went with them. Some years ago, as an adult, I accompanied my mother to visit a very old neighbor who was dying a few doors down the street. And though she was no longer living in the country starved later. People like my mother were visiting her constantly, bringing food, picking up and returning laundry, or simply stopping by to inquire how she was feeling and to chat. Her house
Her linen, her skin, all glowed with cleanliness. She lay propped against pillows so that by merely turning her head, she could watch the host approaching. Friends and relatives arriving, and most of all, the small children playing beside the street. Often in her yard, the sound of their play, a lively music. Sitting in the dimly lit, spotless room, listening to the lengthy but warm reassuring memory of silence between my mother and Mrs. Davis was extraordinarily pleasant. Her white hair gleamed against her kissable black skin. Her bed was covered with one of the most intricately patterned quilts I've ever seen. A companion to the dozen or more that she stored in a closet, which I expressed my interest and she invited me to see. I thought her dying was one of the most reassuring events I've ever witnessed. She's calm, she seemed ready. She was seemingly ready. Her affairs were woman. She was respected and loved. It thought Mrs. Davis happened to exit. A week later. Excuse me, sir, I'm trying to read, thank you. A week later, when she actually died, I felt all the more because she had left in me the inevitable knowledge that something had happened. And that cancer and nuclear annihilation are truly obscene. And truly, teaching this very vivid is one of the things that an excellent death is supposed to do. To die miserably of self-induced sickness is an aberration. We have taken as normal, but it is crucial that we remember and teach our children that there are other ways to die. For myself, for all of us, I want a death like this today, one in which we ripen and ripen herbs as rich as fruit, and then fall slowly into the carrying on of our friends and other people we know. People who remember the good days and the bad, the names of lovers and grandchildren, the time sorrow almost broke, the time love and friendship healed. It must become a right of every person to die of old age. And if we secure this right for ourselves, we can coincidentally assure it for the planet. And that, as they say, will be excellence, which is perhaps only another name for health. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So let's see if I can get the mic. Okay, go. Oh, it's working. All right. Okay. So I guess, Russell has, some recordings of Langston actually reading some of his past programs. So we're going to do that, but I guess while we're getting all of that. Oh, yeah, so maybe we can take a break from the reading and just get something curious. Okay, so we'll just take a little break for now. Thank you.
How are you? Been good. Supposed to do. It's here for the Black History Month at this library.
Oh, okay, I thought we were getting. Okay, in my opening remarks, that it is in fact, Langston's 123rd birthday. I don't believe I mentioned that in the opening remarks. So I'll just, read a few more poems, and then I will, trade off for a bit. So this is another one that some of you may know, Daybreak in Alabama. When I get to be a composer, I'm gonna write me some music about daybreak in Alabama. And I'm gonna put the prettiest songs in it, rising out of the ground with a swan mist, and falling out of heaven like soft dew. I'm gonna put some tall, tall trees in it, and the scent of pine needles, and the smell of red clay after rain, and long red necks, and poppy-colored faces, and big brown arms, and the few daisy eyes of black and white, black people. And I'm gonna put white hands and black hands and brown and yellow and red clay earth hands in it, touching everybody with kind fingers, and touching each other natural dew and dawn of the new when I get to be a composer and write about daybreak. Yes, um, the dream is vague, the dream is vague and all confused with dice and women and jazz and blues. The dream is vague, without an aim, yet warm and wavering and sharp as flame. The loss of the dream leaves nothing the same. And I think I will do another plate. And this one is, the previous one we read was, the poetry was from Songs of Experience, which he wrote in 1795. This one's from Songs of Innocence. And it's again, something that could have influenced Langston Hughes, called A Little Black. Okay. My mother born me in the southern wild, and I am black, though my soul is white. White as an angel is the English sky. But I am black, as if relieved of life. My mother taught me underneath a tree, and sitting down before the heat of day, she took me on her lap and kissed me, and pointing to the east, began to say, "Look on the rising sun, there God does live, and gives his light and gives his heat away, and flowers and trees and beast and man receive comfort in morning, joy in the noonday. And we are put on earth a little space, that we may learn to bear the beams of love, and these black bodies and this sunburned face is but a cloud like a shady grove. For when our souls have learned that For when our souls have learned that heat to bear, the cloud will vanish. We shall hear his voice saying, "Come up to the grove, my love and care, and round my golden tent, like lambs rejoice." Thus did my mother say, kiss me, and thus I say, little English boy. Okay, I'll be back.
back, yeah. Sorry, I'll go back. Thus did my mother say and kiss me, and thus I say a little English boy. And I from black and he from white cloud free, and round the tent of God like lambs we joy. I'll shade him from the heat till he can bear to lean in joy upon our Father's knee. And then I'll stand and stroke his silver hair, and be like him, and he will then know. Okay, so I think Rahima's going. So.
Thank you, Warren. Read the bond. So I have a couple of poems I'd like to read. One is called I'm going to read a couple of poems. One is called the Langston Hughes poem, and called the Negro.
I want to read about the Irish, because it keeps coming up.
I've known rivers ancient as the willow, and older than the flow of human blood and human veins. My soul has run deep, like the river. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramid above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I've seen its muddy bosom through all golden and sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, destiny. My soul has grown deep, like the water. Is the microphone on? I can hear you. Testing, testing. So testing, testing, testing. Can you hear me now? The Negro Speaks of Rivers by Langston Hughes. I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusty rivers. My soul has grown deep, like the rivers. Another poem of Langston called Democracy.
I think that is, so maybe, about freaking out. That's a important guy.
Democracy will not come today, this year, nor ever through compromise and fear. I have as much right as the other fellow has to stand on my 2 feet and own the land. I tire so that things take their course.
You only try putting these batteries in.
We're gonna try and put batteries. Take a break.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, definitely connected.
Yeah,
I know. A little technical.
yeah, they get to see behind the scenes.
Okay, so hopefully this doesn't keep the king off now. Seems to be working.
Okay, then, Langston Hughes readathon, this is day one. I'm reading a poem from Langston Hughes called Democracy. Democracy will not come today, this year, nor ever through compromise and fear. I have as much right as the other fellow has to stand on my 2 feet and own the land. I tire so of hearing people say, let things take their course. Tomorrow is another day. I do not need my freedom when I'm dead. I cannot live on tomorrow's bread. Freedom is a strong seed planted in a great need. I live here too. I want freedom, just as you. Thank you. Let's see, Russell is going to come and then do the meeting. Thank you, Russell.
Yeah. Then, this is Langston. Hello?
Yeah, this is the Dubois love song by Langston. I could take the hollow note and wrap it around you. Take the neon lights and make it cry. Take the Lenox Avenue buses, taxi, subway, and for your love song, tone their rumble down. Take a Harlem's heartbeat, make a drum beat, put it on a record, let it swirl. And while we listen to it play, dance with you to the dead, dance with you, my sweet brown home girl. I'm now going to read a poem by a young Cuban poet named Nicholas Dion. He was a very young man when he first met Langston Hughes in Cuba and Havana. And he was very excited to meet Langston Hughes. And he told Langston Hughes that he had written a series of poems about the American blues. And Langston Hughes thanked him and said, well, why won't you write about your own music, your own blues? Because in Cuba, there is poems that, for the most part, come from the blues, the Cuban blues called song. And what Nicholas Dion did was, he became, by the way, the poet of Cuba. And he actually was profoundly influenced by Langston Hughes. I'm going to read the English version because obviously I'm not capable of reading it all in Spanish. So, but we are going to have Spanish things. All of these are all of these are in Spanish. So I'm going to read to the English version of the just a moment. Okay. Rough, very long, death is a drum, beating forever, till the last world come to answer the call, till the last soul falls, until the last hour is no other call, until time is lost and there is no air, and faith itself is nothing no earth. Death is a drum, the city drum, calling life to come. The next poem I'm going to read is called Dear Lovely Death. Dear lovely death that taketh all things under wing, never to kill, only to change in some other thing. This suffering flesh to make it either more or less, but not again the same. Dear lovely death, change is thy other name. And one of the poem I'm going to read called Afro-American Fragment. And this one is by Langston Hughes. So long, so far away, is Africa. Not even memory alive, save those that history books created. Save those that songs beat back into the blood. Beat our blood with words that song in strange unresolved tongue. So long away is Africa, subdued and time lost. Are the drums, and yet, through some vast mist of race, there comes this song. I do not understand. This song of atavistic land, of bitter yearning lost, without a place. So long, so far away, is Africa's dark place. Should I read some more or read you want to read?
We could maybe take a break for lunch too, because I know.
Okay, but what time is
It's almost noon.
okay, well, let her read.
Okay. So,
And so we won't be testing.
I'm not sure if you don't come back and.
On the screen, or what the hell is the thing? Yeah, we have to, yeah, we can, maybe just let that run out the problem.
Oh, okay, great, excellent. So what are you reading?
Wait, you think we can run the video?
Yeah. That's what we'll do after the break.
Hi, I'm back again with another Langston Hughes poem. This one, he wrote a lot of poems about dreams. And this one I'm going to do is called Dream Variations. To fling my arms wide in some place of the sun, to whirl and to dance till the white day is done, then rest at cool evening beneath a tall tree, while night comes on gently, dark like me. That is my dream. To fling my arms wide in the face of the sun, dance, whirl, whirl, till the quick day is done. Rest at pale evening, a tall slim tree, night coming tenderly, black like me. Thank you.
It's not clear yet, it's 11:14.
Another 10.
Okay.
What about holding back?
These come from Dream Boogie. Ancient herd, the boogie wooden rumble of a dream deferred. Listen closely, you'll hear their feet, beaten out and beaten out. You think it's a happy beat? Listen to it closely. Ancient herd, something underneath, like a, what did you say? Kill your hand. Take it, take mom, read mom, and thank you, Langston. Thank you for the show. Story, all those grandpas out there. The grandkids. He's not making a dream. As the stories of salvation. Those not him. Even if he doesn't know what makes his face even go. One who says back in his time, him with the fully cost a dime. Ice cream cones a nickel. And a penny for a pickle. Thank you. We're going to be taking a break now. And we'll be back. With our Zoom. Meanwhile, I'm going to try and see if I can put up some videos of Langston Hughes. Thank you.
Okay, so, yes, we will be pausing. For. We will see coming back. when we get there. Okay, so, we're going to do work. Interviews, reading. Reading lots of news. So we're going to start with the Zoom.
It was a lovely day, folks, and I walked away so. My friends was all around me, it was just a new favor. When I come up and I had a cold wind, the coat I was wearing was just feeling that thing. Then I went down to the valley, across the Macy Street, where the water was crossing, there's no water in between. And the shoes that I was wearing, over the pictures on the street, they stay out on the ferry, as far as I could see. There won't be on the ferry, I think like me, and there's one thing I heard, you know, what, told me some, if we just don't play everything, and that's the thing. Crossing the river, along the valley.
Can you take out the name of this video? Renee, I'm going to play my own film. Good job. Yeah. That's it. Great job. Yeah. Hold on. Can you hear it?
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have. Okay, so, start whenever you're ready.
See, I'm sure Chisholm, who was, the first black woman to run for president of the United States, right? And, I think it's significant because I asked, some adults, who was the first candidate, black candidate to run for president of the United States, and they weren't aware that Shirley Chisholm had in 1972, ran for president. And I just wanted to, make a statement, and it was because of, I think it should be, November 30th, 1944, January 1st, 2005, and I'm pretty positive in 1968 became the first black woman to be elected to the United States Congress. Chisholm represented New York's 12th congressional district, second on District 7, for a second term from 1969 to 1983. In 1972, she became the first black candidate for a major party nomination for the president of the United States, and the first woman to win the Democratic Party presidential nomination. She was known for taking a resolute stand against economic, social, and political injustices, as well as being a strong supporter of black civil rights and women's rights. Born in Brooklyn, New York, she spent ages 5 to 9 in Barbados, and she always considered herself a Barbadian American. She excelled at school and earned a college degree in the United States. She started working in early childhood, and she became involved in local Democratic Party politics in the 1950s. In 1954, overcoming some resistance because she was a woman, she was elected to the New York State Assembly. 4 years later, she was elected to Congress, where she led the expansion of food nutrition program for poor and low to poverty leadership. She retired from Congress in 1983 and taught at Mount Holyoke College while continuing her political programming. Although nominated for ambassadorship in 1993, health issues caused her to withdraw. I just wanted to say, her legacy is worth looking into because it's broad and expansive and very powerful as a black woman, saying, in politics in America. When she ran for president, many black men opposed her as a woman, all right, and felt that she was inadequate and represented the community, which she had already been represented with a strong forefront for the black congressional party. So, like, how powerful example of what anyone can do in the world.
Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so, okay, so they signed on, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay, so we're going to get you up on the projector now.